You wake up before the alarm, not rested, not ready, just awake enough to know the phone is there. One work message, 2 emails, a school update, a payment reminder, a news alert, something from last night that never really left your head. Your feet have not touched the floor, but the world is already inside the room. That is the quiet theft we rarely call theft. Sleep used to be the place where the day stopped. Now, for many people, it has become the place where the day negotiates for one more piece of them. And the strange part is this: most people already know sleep matters. ResMed's Global Sleep Survey points to something ordinary people already feel. People connect sleep with health, longevity, and quality of life. They know it is important. But many still report getting a good night's sleep only a few nights a week. The reasons are not mysterious. Stress, anxiety, work, screens, family duties, household responsibilities, sleep disorders. So the problem is not simply ignorance. People are not walking around tired because nobody told them sleep was good. They are tired because modern life keeps asking them to trade recovery for access. Access to work, access to school systems, access to money pressure, access to entertainment, access to news, access to social life, access to one last private hour that feels like it belongs to them. A man may call it discipline. He checks messages early because he does not want Monday to hit him in the face. He answers one email after dinner because it feels easier than letting it sit. He watches clips late at night because the day gave him no real space. He drinks more coffee, jokes more, says I'm good, and keeps moving. That is often how male tiredness hides. Not always in collapse. Sometimes in a colder tone. Less patience, worse judgment, a shorter fuse, more isolation, more scrolling, more silence, more pretending the machine is still holding. Women are inside the same pattern too, often through another door. The Danish National Health Profile from 2025 showed that 16.3% of adults had been very bothered by sleep problems within the previous 2 weeks. Women reported it more often than men. That does not make women morally stronger or men morally weaker. It shows that sleep is not distributed evenly. It moves through work, care, health, family load, class, stress, and the invisible administration of daily life. A woman may be the one who remembers the school message, the packed lunch, the appointment, the laundry, the family chat, the emotional temperature in the house, and the thing that must not be forgotten tomorrow. She may also be working, replying, performing, managing, trying to be a good partner, colleague, mother, daughter, or friend. Her sleep does not disappear because she failed at wellness. It disappears because the household keeps entering her mind after the lights are off. That is the sharp contrast. Everyone says sleep is important, but almost everything treats sleep as negotiable. Work takes some, children take some, worry takes some, the phone takes some, a late match takes some, dating apps take some, news takes some, the need for a tiny private escape takes some, and by the time a person finally lies down, sleep is not protected. It is whatever remains after everything else has been allowed in. Microsoft WorkLab has called part of this pattern the infinite workday. Early emails, constant messages, evening work, late inbox checks, Sunday catch-up. That phrase can sound like corporate language until you recognize the scene. The laptop reopened after dinner, the phone beside the pillow, the Sunday night attempt to protect Monday by sacrificing Sunday. The public word is flexibility. The private behavior is permanent availability. And to be fair, flexibility can be good. Remote work can save time. Digital tools can help. Nobody serious should pretend the old office world was automatically healthier. But flexibility without boundaries becomes access. The office does not disappear. It moves into the hand, the bed, the kitchen, the car, the walk, the weekend. And the body notices before the culture admits it. Mental Health UK's burnout research points in the same direction. Many workers do not experience workplace mental health support as something deeply real. They experience it as surface language, while workload, unpaid overtime, fear of job loss, and weak support continue underneath. That is where well-being becomes dignity washing. A company can talk about resilience while the evening is still being eaten. A school can talk about supporting families while every parent carries another portal, another app, another group chat, another reminder. A government can talk about digital progress while ordinary people quietly become case managers for their own lives. The uncomfortable truth is that many people do not choose sleep when the faster reward is available. The phone gives relief now. The email gives control now. The match gives life now. The scroll gives escape now. The extra hour of work gives the illusion that tomorrow will hurt less. Sleep is a long-term investment competing against short-term relief, social pressure, economic fear, and digital design. That does not make people weak. It means the incentives are stronger than the advice. This is why the debate about phones and children matters. Sweden has urged parents to create phone-free zones, keep screens away from bedrooms, and model better behavior around children. Schools in several countries are moving towards stronger phone restrictions. There is a real point there. Children should not have to compete with a parent's phone for attention. Classrooms should not be run by notifications. But the honest answer is more precise than phones are bad. A University of Birmingham study found that restrictive phone policies in schools were linked with more face-to-face socializing during the school day, but some students compensated by using phones more outside school, with possible costs to sleep. That is the whole issue in miniature. If you remove the phone from one room but do not change the wider pattern of access, the behavior can simply move into the night. The problem is not technology itself. The problem is boundaryless access dressed up as progress. OECD work on mental health and digital life also points away from lazy conclusions. Digital tools and social media can be linked with poor sleep, less physical activity, harassment, and pressure. But they can also provide connection, information, and belonging. So the honest position is not anti-technology. It is anti-extraction, anti-endless access, anti-fake progress without human limits. Because some people use the phone at night because they are addicted, some use it because it is the only quiet hour they own, some answer work messages late because the culture rewards it, some scroll because they are lonely, some stay awake because the body is tired, but the mind is still trying to process a day that never gave it room. That is why sleep has become the last social boundary. It is not only about health, it is about judgment. When sleep is eaten, people make worse decisions. They snap faster, they listen less, they trust poorly, they drive tired, they parent with less patience, they date with less openness. They avoid difficult conversations, they become easier to irritate, easier to divide, easier to manipulate, and easier to sell to. A tired person is easier to manage than a rested person. That sentence is ugly. But once you see it, it is hard to unsee. The political side is already visible. Some countries are now trying to define a right to disconnect because ordinary workplace culture has failed to protect disconnection on its own. Luxembourg is moving toward financial penalties from July 2026 if employers do not have proper arrangements around the right to disconnect. That matters. If disconnection has to become a legal issue, then the social norm is already broken. Ordinary people feel that break before they can explain it. The man who works late watches clips until 1 a.m. and wakes up angry. The woman who finally gets the house quiet and then spends her only private hour on a screen she knows will cost her tomorrow. The parent who tells the child to put the phone away while checking one more message. The teenager who is phone-free in school but pays it back at night. The manager who talks about well-being and then sends 3 urgent messages after dinner. These are not separate problems. They are the same pattern, wearing different clothes. The public story says we are connected, flexible, informed, and free. The private behavior says many people are tired, reactive, overstimulated, and quietly trying to survive the next day. The way forward is not a moral panic, and it is not another soft poster about self-care. People do not need more guilt placed on top of exhaustion. They need boundaries that can survive contact with work, family, school, money, and technology. That can begin very small. No work phone in bed, no inbox before breakfast, no school portal after a certain hour, no quick message that keeps a whole household mentally open, no pretending well-being exists where workload has not changed, no calling every boundary cold, lazy, or antisocial. Reclaiming dignity here does not mean disappearing from life. It means deciding that not everything gets access to you, not every system, not every notification, not every demand, not every small emergency wearing the costume of importance. Sleep is not just rest. It is where a person gets their judgment back, their patience, their presence, their ability to meet another human being without already being half-used. When sleep is protected, dignity has somewhere to return to. And when dignity has somewhere to return to, ordinary life becomes a little less easy to eat.